Welcome back to Strange Form. Today we have an unexpected early arrival from Big Bad Toy Store. Mezco's much anticipated and delayed 1/12 Alien Big CHAP figure. As always, the hallmark of Big Bad Toy Store, secure packaging, and of course the Big Bad Toy Store sticker. A company sideshow could learn a thing or two when it comes to properly boxing up their goods. On the front you have the green image of the creature reminiscent of the Blu-ray packaging, with the tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream." On the side, you have the H.R. Giger concept artwork. And on the back, you have the production shots of the package contents. My first impression is that the package is actually heavier than I expected, and there is no window flap, which could hurt brick and mortar sales for this figure. Inside, you have two vacuform plastic trays. On the top level is the Big Chap himself doing jumping jacks. To the first touch, the alien is soft and rubbery, but also much heavier than any other standard 1/12 figure I've handled. The other items on the top layer are the removable chest plate with harpoon cord sticking out, two extra sets of hands, one with fingers splayed, and the other in the live long and prosper pose, and of course, 3 inner jaw extensions, short, long, and long with slime. In tray number 2, we have 2 eggs, open and closed, a chest burster, 2 face huggers, a plastic doll stand, and a base with the logo from the sequel minus the S. Altogether, the accessories are very similar to what you would find in the Ultimate Edition NECA Alien, but in a slightly smaller scale, and with better proportions. The eggs look good, but nothing any more spectacular than the eggs you've seen from other companies. They are quite heavy and very solid. I'm interested to see the translucent versions that will be coming out with the concept figure sometime next year. The closed version is fine, but my one gripe with these would be that the open version has 0 detail inside and is entirely too red. The facehugger accessory looks identical to NECA's Alien version, i.e. the front fingers are curled up like a spider in attack mode. The funny thing is that NECA's Ultimate Big Chap Alien actually comes with a facehugger whose fingers are splayed out, giving the air of the one from the first film. And that won't be the only accessory NECA got right and Mezco didn't. The second facehugger is one that can be put on your other Mezco figures' heads, a design seen in a few other Alien sets, namely the Mafex figure. And lastly we have the chest burster. Again, Mezco is confusing the first and second film, as the chest burster has the little folded up arms, something not seen in the infamous 1979 Emergence sequence. I don't know why this bothers me so much. It just feels like they were grabbing designs from other figures and not paying attention. As I said before, NECA managed to get all of these accessories right at 1/3 the price. But the accessories probably aren't why you purchase this figure. As can be seen here, the hands are a near-perfect reproduction of the costume gloves. Though for the spread fingers, I wish they would have gone with straight rather than slightly curled. The details on the figure are awesome and highly accurate, although some of them are not as crisp because of the seamless rubber body. As you can see, the inner armature moves freely and the joints swivel and hold position well. And as you will see later, you can actually get some truly dynamic poses without the rubber trying to reset. That being said, anyone who's owned a figure with rubber parts knows that often you're really just renting it until nature decides to reclaim the material. So I will be interested to see how this one holds up in the next 10 years. But right now, I will say that I folded him into a little pretzel, and he didn't split or break. The paint applications are good. In some places, the fine detail is really well done, and in others it's a bit sparse, but there are places around the body where it would have been nice to have a little bit more nuanced paint, and I understand that there are restrictions on a figure this small with a seamless rubber body. The mouth is the exact same gimmick used in just about every NECA Alien, as it's a hinge with extra long jaw musculature to give the impression of stretching. The one disappointing thing is that the mouth cannot be completely closed, which is a shame. The only reason is that they didn't put the slight dent in the upper fang that allows for the bottom teeth to close over it. This gives the creature a slight overbite and is true to the original costume. This is something many other manufacturers have figured out, but it doesn't look terrible, and there are several scenes in the movie where the mouth doesn't fully close, such as the attack in the ductwork. For the inner mouth gimmick, they really only had two ways to go. You could either grab the mouth and pull it out, or a peg hole where you put the inner mouths in. They went with the latter, in favor of adding a slime-covered inner jaw. But unfortunately, they didn't get the color right. If you remember from the film, the inner jaw was a sort of creamy white. I wonder if this is to get people to buy the concept version, as those inner jaws actually are color correct for this figure. I really do like the way that the short inner mouth looks retracted. It fits well, and the two sets of teeth look menacing. Now we come to posability. Though ever so slightly stockier than the spindly Mr. Badeo, this figure does something that I gave a good amount of praise to the Kotobukiya figure for, and that's sculpting in the wrinkles and folds of the costume. And to give you an idea of how good the joints on this figure are, I have posed it in the being blown out the airlock position, without any aid of anything other than the peg hole in his foot. This will be the only shot where the harpoon chest plate is installed, as it's a pain in the ass to get off without breaking or scuffing. This is a gimmick where I wish they would have used magnets. I love the proportions on the figure, and would kill to have Hot Toys redo their abysmal 1/6 scale Big Chap anywhere close to this level of film accuracy. From the spines to the sheep's jawbones on the heels, Mezco has managed to create something special. It's just unfortunate that the film accuracy doesn't extend to the accessories. My only issues with this figure are the coloration of the inner jaws, the mouth can't fully close, and lastly, the details are a little bit soft due to the seamless body. A body that I'm hoping is high-grade rubber. The figure can be had right now for between $90 and $110, but I'm certain this one will probably end up going for much more on the secondary market within a year or two. Now, I don't want to be ultra-cynical about this, but when I opened up the package and held the figure in my hand, I had a deep sense of déjà vu. And the problem is that there are so many alien figures at about this size. It really took me a moment to find the uniqueness of this one. I do really like it. It will definitely rank highly on my list, but it's a list that's already saturated with big chaps around this size. Where we need a new figure is in the 1/6 scale. There's only really one true 1/6 scale alien, and it's not all that great. So this is more a figure that I would buy instead of another figure. But if it came down to getting this or buying the Kotobukiya, I would definitely still buy the Kotobukiya if they were the same price. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Strange Form, and will help the channel grow by commenting, hitting like, and subscribing. And remember, never stop collecting.